Hi everyone! Maybe you are doing a lot for God, but have you ever wondered if this is what He really wants from you? This is a topic we'll be discussing today.
Hi everyone, welcome once again to All About You. As you could see, the topic today is going to help us a lot to clarify a lot of question marks inside of us. You know that the society we live nowadays, it demands a lot from us women, especially when it comes to making a difference. So even the word itself says making a difference. So what it means is to do a lot, to be very active, to be independent, to do a lot in order to make a difference in this life. And many times women are even willing and ready to sacrifice things that are not meant to be sacrificed, like their children, their relationships, their marriage, all in the name of making a difference, isn't it, Paula?
Yes. The society, the world that we live in is pushing women to do things that, it's to sacrifice family, to sacrifice their children, to sacrifice what they should be concerned about, right? And it's making them, it's forcing them, it's causing an anxiety for them to do things, to be part of a situation or a group of people that before a few years, like in my mother's time or my grandmother's time, it wasn't like this at all. You know, women, they were supposed to take care of certain things that nowadays we don't see as a priority anymore.
Yes, the image of women, of a strong woman today is the one that does a lot. It's the busybody woman. Even myself, sometimes people come to me and they say, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? You should do this, you should do that. Why don't you go for this? Because if you do that, then you're going to make a difference. Everyone will see it. Because for them, this is what it means to be strong. This is what it means to make a difference, is to make things, is to do things, is to be very active on things. But many times people lose themselves on the so much doing, even when it comes to our relationship with God, even our relationship with Him start being compromised because we start doing a lot, we do a lot, we sacrifice a lot. We are very active, even in the church, isn't it? Not that it's wrong for us to serve God, for us to help people, for us to help in what is necessary. But many times people are willing to sacrifice their families. Like they have no time for their husbands, they have no time to look after their children in the name of doing something for God.
It's true. There's a lot of people, unfortunately, Christians, that they think, oh, I'm doing the will of God. By doing this, by staying in the church, for example, the whole day, a married woman, for example, or someone that has children. Oh, I'm doing the will of God and this is my priority. But okay, but you have to stop and think about your family, right? Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to pick them up from school, for example? You're going to let them just stay there with people, strangers, to educate them. No, you need to be present. And sometimes even you yourself who are married to someone that does not believe, what kind of testimony are you giving to this person if you are not there with them to take care of them, to show to them the character of God in you, right?
Exactly, because what's the point of learning so much in the church that we should be a helper, that we should be a suitable helper to the husband? What's the point of learning that you should be forgiven, to forgive, to be kind? What's the point of you learning so much in the church, right, that you have to do if you don't even make the time to put that into practice? What's the point, isn't it? So many times people also, they have this tendency of comparing themselves to other people who are doing more than they are doing as well, isn't it?
It's true. And because when they look at someone that is doing a lot, you automatically look at yourself and you think, I'm not doing enough. So you look at yourself and you diminish yourself. You put yourself down automatically because you kind of like, you look at yourself and you look at this other person and she's doing more than you, so you are not doing enough. So you need to do something extra for you to be like them. But whatever she's doing, whatever this person is doing, maybe it's the will of God for them to do that and not you at that moment. So you need to know what is the will of God for you in all areas of your life, right?
It's true, and we will only find peace when we go there and we look and we seek for the will of God in our lives. You can do a lot of things, but it will never be enough. Even when it comes, not only outside, not only when you are in the world or working or having responsibilities, but also when it comes to serving God. You will only have peace when you know that what you're doing is the will of God. You gotta sometimes ask God, my God, is this what you want me to do? Is this what you want me to do? Do you really want me to go and stay like until late, many nights, doing this, working on this, and leaving my husband alone? Is this what you really want from me? Do you really want me to, work a lot, work so much, wake up already early in the morning, thinking about what I have to do to help in the church or to work here and there, and not even have the time to speak to you, not even have the time to listen to you? Is that really what you want me to do? So many times we find ourselves, and this happened to me as well, Paula. I'm sure it happens to many of us, and sometimes people look at us and think that we never go through anything. But there were times in my life that it was really hard because we don't understand, we don't even realize this, but this mentality that the world is promoting, it comes so much deep inside of us, so rooted that we don't realize that sometimes what we are doing, or the real reason why we are doing things, is not really to please God, to serve God. We are doing that because we are meant to do that. We are doing that because we like to be active, because we like to be seen as the active one, as the one who's being counted on. We like that, that sensation that people will have, like when someone says, oh, I've been working until this time. Really? Oh, I have been working this time and that time, and plus I study, plus I have this, and plus I have that. They feel even superior to other people because of so many things that they do, isn't it?
It's true. And this has happened to me before when I was younger. I used to love, until today, we love to be in the church, right? But as a young girl, I used to love to spend if I could, the whole time. So my Saturdays, my Sundays, I was there in the church. And I was neglecting my parents a little bit. So you see, you're not giving a good testimony at home at all. So we know what we are talking about. Because we have a little bit of a testimony like that as well. So my father, especially my father, because my mother, she was in the church, but my father was always complaining. I never see her at home. What is she doing in the church the whole time? So I had to start to make time for him as well, so he could see the changes that happen in me, so he could turn to God, right? And sometimes this is what it's missing. Sometimes the person complains about the family member, but they are not there to give a good testimony, to show how they changed, or to give a word sometimes. They are just there sometimes just to criticize. And this is something that it will make like a separation in the family as well.
Yes, it's true. And we have to be humble, and we have to be open to realize this, to realize this, and to see, because myself, even as a married woman, I used to think like that. I was talking earlier about how sometimes we look at other people and we think that we are superior because we are doing a lot. And I'm ashamed to say that I did used to do that as well. I used to look at other wives, they had their husbands and they were not doing as much. And I remember there were responsibilities that I had. When I went to somewhere else, I was replaced by 5, 10 people to do the work of one person. And I thought, yes, look how I was used. Look how I was effective. Look how I was efficient, right? I do so much. I'm so counted on. But they had a good relationship in their house with their husbands. They were spending that moment with them. They were spending their moments with God. I didn't realize this back then because sometimes this mentality blinds us to look everywhere else, to look at the consequences. When you start looking at the consequences of your actions, be it in your spiritual life or your relationships and your life in general, even your health, when you start paying attention to the consequences, then you will see that a lot of things that you are doing, they are not really what God wants from you, because God doesn't want your relationships to be affected. He doesn't want your marriage to be destroyed. He doesn't want your relationship with Him to be affected to the point of you not even having the time to seek Him. So I remember that when I stopped to look at the consequences, and I remember there were times that my husband used to say to me, Aline, what's the point of you doing so much? What about me? So it's a shame to say that, but I say it to help others because my eyes have opened. And I decided to stop seeing things from this angle. And every time I have to watch myself, isn't it? We have to watch ourselves not to fall into this mentality again. So I remember when I realized, when I started paying attention to their lives, even though they were not as busy as I were, they were investing that time in the things that were really important. They were investing this time in the priorities, in their relationship with God first, and then their family, and then their health and things. Of course, they didn't stop serving God, but they had a balance, isn't it? And God wants to serve Him with a balance as well.
It's true. I was thinking about that right now, about balance, because like you said, God, He doesn't want to come between a relationship between a man and a woman, between a woman and her children. He doesn't want that. The things with God are natural. They have to be natural. God doesn't impose anything upon anyone. But it's something so subtle, to know what is the will of God for a specific situation. You really have to seek. Because usually our mentality, our mind in the church, right? We think that the will of God is one thing, but it's usually something else. And it's like a treasure, a hidden treasure. We have to seek, we have to dig for us to find what is the will of God in that specific situation.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes He wants us to stop, sometimes He wants us to go. You cannot look around for you to find out what is the will of God for you. You have to go to Him because it's personal. So what is it that He wants from you? Even if sometimes people, they turn to you, and when they look at you, they look down on you because you're not up there. You're not shining. The spotlights are not there shining upon you. So there are indeed many people who look down, who sometimes they think, why is it that she's not doing as much as others are doing? Why is it that she's in a position or a place that, is not seen by other people? Why is it that she's not doing as much as I am doing? So many people feel down, and they force and they push themselves to do things, or sometimes when they can't do anything about it, they really put themselves down by thinking, I'm not making a difference for God. But it's not true. Maybe you're not making a difference before people who, they are used to this mentality of the world that doing a lot is to make a difference for God. It doesn't matter if you are making a difference or not. Sometimes you will not make a difference for people at times. But if you choose to make a difference for God, maybe nobody will be seeing you, because maybe you will be making a difference, doing what you need to do in your house, being a proper, a true wife to your husband, being a mother, a real mother to your children, having the time, the moments to spend with Him, to be closer to Him. Nobody will see that. But before God, you will be making a difference. Okay, so this is the message we want to pass to all of you today. You will only find peace when you are doing what God wants you to do. You never find peace trying to do things that people require, people expect of you. It doesn't matter if it's a lot or if it's that one thing. It's like the talents, isn't it, Paula?
Yes.
It can be one talent, it can be 5 talents, it can be 1 talent, even if it's one. If you don't despise it, and you do something about it, then you're going to make a real difference for God and for those that He entrusted in your hands as well in your life. All right? So thank you so much for being with us. Meditate on these words and have a wonderful day. See you next week with another topic. Bye-bye, ladies.